Welcome, Hearthstoners. It's Jester versus Season 6 again. Now we're up against Malfurion. It's going to be a Druid build. Since Druids can come anywhere from aggro to control, you really don't know what to keep in the opening hand, so you just get rid of anything that's not an early play. In this case, Sylvanas. The Execute would come in handy against Control Druid. The Ghoul come in handy against Death Rattle builds and Token builds. Alexstrasza doesn't really come in handy. She could sit there in my hand all game for all I care. And then the Black Knight, which is really strong against Control Druid, against their Druid of the Claw and Avatar of War. Draw a Taskmaster. We're going to put a board presence out there in the form of the Ghoul. Pass the turn. It'll keep him from using his hero power against us. Now, more traditional Control Warrior play would say, don't put anything out there, just armor up and pass the turn. And I highly disagree with that. If you don't have a board presence, you want a board presence first, because it all starts with pressure. And pressurizing your opponent is what allows those good tempo and value trades to turn into devastating plays. Oh, he drops a Shade. The Shade of Naxxramas is a very anti-control warrior. If he just sits on that Shade until late game, it can be huge and it can be very, very deadly. However, most people play it wrong against Control Warrior, and they think that it needs to trade early to try and maintain some balance of control. But you can't control Control Warrior. If you ever read the article, Who's the Beatdown? Control Warrior will always win the question of control or not. In that being the case, don't try to deal with their minions so much. And Shade of Naxxramas is an extremely aggro play. As you can see, he just slammed the Shade into the Ghoul, as typical of people who are playing it incorrectly. He drops a Ghoul of his own. And we Taskmaster our Acolyte. Now when our Acolyte kills his Ghoul, it's going to kill his Shade as well. We're going to get all sorts of cards from it. Armor up, because we have a board presence this time, and pass the turn. Now as you can see, he's got 6 cards in hand. We have 7. He has no board presence. We have a Taskmaster. He has 29 health. We have 32 health. This sort of discrepancy here happens whenever you misplace your role in the Who's the Beatdown question. Wild Growth. Alright, we're at 5 mana crystals. We're going to drop that Sludge Belcher. Get it out there, get a board presence out there, so that we can commence no longer controlling the board. We can start to control with our minions. Another thing about Control Warriors, we only have 4 real spell-based removals. In that being the case, you do at some point have to do efficient trading and spend your minions to get rid of their minions. As is the case here, you see he's got an Avatar of War out. It's a 5/5. He drew 2 cards off of it. But we're going to get rid of that Avatar and thus make it a 7 to cost draw 2 cards, which is strictly worse than Arcane Intellect. We're going to do that by dropping an axe, axing it in the face, and executing it. Do 3 to his face, drop an Acolyte, end the turn. Now our board presence is far higher than it was before. He still has none. We still have more health than he does. And now our card count is about equal. He just drew his 7th. We'll be drawing our 6th. A lot of people also overestimate the importance of card draw. They believe that the more options you have available through card drawing tactics, the stronger your potential position is, and they'd be right. Belcher. Well, we're going to Black Knight that, and then we're going to take out the Slime. Charge for another 4. Just keep the pressure up. There we go. And they'd be right about the card draw concept. If it weren't for one problem, you're limited on mana in this game as opposed to, say, Magic the Gathering. In being limited, you can only cast so much. So after a while, having multiple options is bottlenecked by how much you can actually translate onto the board, how much you can actually make real. So once you have a few versatile options in your hand, you really don't need card draw at that point. Things like Acolyte of Pain just become expensive 1/3s. A second Sludge Belcher. Well, yeah. We're just going to have to kill it. Let's see here. We'll do 4 with the axe. Armor up. Shield slam it for the last one. And then we'll take out the little slime with our own Belcher. We'll send 5 to his face. Again, because we have versatile options in our hand right now, hitting the slime with the Acolyte to draw a card isn't yet necessary. 1 point of damage is better than nothing. Might as well go to the face with it. Now I could have wasted that 1 point of damage by hitting the slime before I killed it with the Belcher, but doing that would only bag me 1 more card, and would that 1 more card have given me better options than what I currently have? Well, we'll find out. Next turn we're looking at Alex anyway. There's a well-spent swipe. See, it would have been a Death's Bite. We already have one in play, and not only do we have one in play, we have one in play ready to rattle. So that would have just been a wasted point of damage at that point. It would have dug us deeper into the deck, but then the next one was a Shield Slam. You see, it's you don't really need to be chewing through your cards. It happens automatically. See, the Death's Bite effect hits the Acolyte, and I get Garrosh. Now we're going to Alex him down, attack for 6. He's at 9, the pressure's on. He can still do Roaring Treants and do quite a bit of damage to us, but we're far outside the range of lethal, especially since his board is clear. He already spent a swipe. He probably has another one. But he's going to have a big Game Hunter for Alex. What have you got, Mr. Druid? Malfurion. It's really not that difficult. However you can kill Alex, that's what needs to happen. He's drawing answers. Did you get one? A lot of people have complained about Gorehowl not being a staple in this deck. The fact is, I just dropped Alex and I'm about to kill him with Alex. So, in this being the case, what was the purpose of Gorehowl? It's just not necessary. Shield block. Shield slam. Patience. The people who are advocates of Gorehowl don't see the fact that Baron Geddon is also 7 attack. And that combo is not lost, it's just relocated. Oh, wow.